So, we are past 48 hours since, nearing 48 hours, I should say, since the final match of the GOAT himself, John Cena. And there's a lot that I could say, that I want to say, that I feel like should be said, but it's tough to put it in words, like, the emotional feeling, the gravitas of everything afterwards. And all in all, it's been a long, near 48 hours to process it all. From working earlier into the morning time into the into now waking up and then trying to process everything, it's kind of tough. But I thought I would post my honest review of all the matches of Saturday night's main event instead of the after show one, which I believe is up on the channel after with my whole thoughts on John Cena. So let's start off with the first match: Cody versus Obafemi for the champion versus champion match. Now, I think that this match was okay, but however, in a point that was made by Santi and a lot of others, Oba felt like he was a bit watered down. And I can sense why some people would think that he's watered down just a teeny bit, like a teeny bit. He's not his NXT self. He was more so like 50%. He was 55% Obafemi instead of the full machine that he is and has been for since he debuted and has been NXT champion. But I think that Obafemi showcased that he is definitely capable of doing a lot, and he should be able to do a lot more when the time comes on the main roster, when he gets his opportunity. Like I said, though, the match was going to end in a DQ. Drew McIntyre is the current story with Cody, and they had to progress it in some capacity. I didn't think that neither man was going to lose this, or I didn't think that any one of them would win clean in any capacity. But Drew coming out and causing the disqualification, fair. None of them need a loss, especially Obafemi. He just recently won the NXT Championship. Cody is Cody. He is the guy in WWE for sure. So, 100%. Is it a terrible thing that happened? Yes, but I don't think that it affects neither man in the end, and it progresses a story between Cody and Drew, which I hope, and it's gonna sound like a thing to say, but I honestly hope that this leads to Drew McIntyre actually winning the WWE Championship. It'll be nice. It'll be a nice change. Who knows when this rivalry commences, whether it's SmackDown, the first SmackDown in the 3 hours in the new year, or at the Royal Rumble in Riyadh. Who knows? But I hope that Drew McIntyre, I really do hope that Drew does win the WWE Championship. And for Obafemi is Obafemi. He's going to continue his run in NXT. He's going to be the god amongst gods until, in my opinion, Javon Evans does beat him for the NXT Championship. Let's talk about Bayley versus Sol Ruca. Now, a lot of people had some skepticism about this, but I thought that this night belonged to Sol Ruca. And Sol Ruca showcased that she is a presence to watch out for in NXT. There wasn't no special glamour or glitz of like a story progression or a heel turn from Zarya. It was just a straight one-on-one match between Bayley and Sol Ruca. Bayley showed that she is still one of the best, she is the most underrated women's wrestler in the WWE by far. And I love Bayley so much that I hope that she does get a championship run again very soon. She is that veteran presence that's still left in the company that I still love and admire and cherish, and I appreciate her so much for giving this spotlight to Sol Ruca. And Sol Ruca was amazing. From her springboard, not even springboard, from her front backflip moonsault over the top rope to the incredible athleticism that she showed the entirety of this match. Bayley hit a Bayley the belly for a nice little 2 count, but it ended with a nice grace counter out the elbow into a soul snatcher, and that soul snatcher is a thing of beauty. It is one of the best finishers in WWE right now. And once she brings it up to the main roster permanently, it's going to be awesome to see anyone get caught by it. Congrats to Sober because she 100% deserved it. And props to Bayley. Bayley is, like I said, the most underrated women's wrestler in WWE. She is amazing. She is still a ring general, a ring passant. And also, shout out to her gear that she wore in tribute to John Cena. It was super nice and super awesome. Really appreciated that. Speaking of, and I'm going to put this in my match of the year category. Tag team match. Now, they didn't put the tag team titles on the line, thankfully. But they did have a phenomenal blitz of a tag team match between AJ Styles and Dragon Lee with Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Shout out to TNA. They had an excellent 2025 with WWE as their partner this year. From the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania to multiple main roster shows and being able to defend the TNA Championship on WWE TV. The Knockouts title, and now you got the X Division Championship, who is X Division Champion Leon Slater, who's 21 years old, same as Javon Evans. And that is just nuts to say that those two are younger than me. But man, did they showcase that they are stars in the game, hanging with Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. Surreal. What a freaking phenomenal match, from the high-flying athleticism of both, that frog splash, the OG cutter, to the Swanton 450, which barely got them a near fall, and then Styles hitting that Styles Clash in the end on Leon Slater. Yeah, you can't ask for a much more perfect match than anything like that. I think, to me, this is in my contention. This is in my top 10 matches of 2025, which is coming very much later in the week, that I'm going to be posting my top 10 matches of 2025 in WWE, not in NXT and not in TNA. But yeah, this was a blitz of a match, and I really appreciated WWE for letting these guys just go all out and doing everything and then some. It was perfect. It was beautiful. And I want to cap off something real quick. After each match, everyone was doing the salute to John Cena, which was super nice. I really thought that was a great fixture, great little texture and everything. So it was really nice to see that, as everyone who participated in the event gave us tribute to John Cena, which leads to the final match. But before that, we did have a nice segment with R-Truth and The Miz. The Miz cutting a promo, interrupting of all the people to interrupt Stephanie freaking McMahon, and then getting interrupted by R-Truth, which then led to the funniest great segment with R-Truth saying what happened to his balls, which is still just funny. Testicle jokes. Anyways, but what happened afterwards, Truth then said that the real name was shown. The real person who was supposed to take the place of Sheamus instead of The Miz. He brought it out, and when you say his name, he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I can't help myself. I mean, Joe Hendry, what a year he's had. Like I said, it all really started and ended with the guy who really had the biggest momentum boost in the WWE, or in wrestling ever. Perhaps maybe all time. Joe Hendry probably had the best run by any single wrestler ever. From the Royal Rumble to NXT to Wrestle freaking Mania. He headlined WrestleMania with Randy Orton. I don't care that he got beaten in seconds. You headlined WrestleMania with Randy Orton, and your TNA champion, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, yeah, you are a star. You are a star. Hands down. Joe Hendry deserved all the love this year. And then headlining John Cena's last night in WWE, yeah, you can't ask for anything better. You cannot ask for anything better. And then, and then I could, man. Mm, 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 mm. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, I'm gonna show y'all guys something, and it's very personal. Because, of course, and I don't really care what opinions are. This is my current lock screen. And this is my current home screen. This is how important John Cena has meant to my life. This is how hard it has been the last several hours, in the last day, and to try to get through all the emotions, all the feelings. Man, it's still tough. And I bawled my eyes out. I realized this was real when he not only shook the hands of all the legends, but he also shook the hand of Elias / Elijah, whatever you want to call him, and then Kevin Owens. Oh man, still bad. Still hits hard. That's how I knew this was real. That's how I knew this was the end, and I knew that John Cena was going to be done after all this. And this was what you needed a John Cena match to be. Starts to get destroyed, get pummeled, makes a Super Cena comeback in a way, gets an attitude adjustment, gets an STF, but it's a little different because Gunther was relentless. He was on a pursuit, and he wanted to do what hadn't been done in 21 years. Make John Cena tap out. Now, we're going to clarify this. John Cena did not tap, or did not give up, I should say. He did tap out, but he did not give up. That ending sequence of him in the sleeper hole, fighting and fighting and fighting, from the hands down, 1, 2, to the Cena. Oh my god, man. Oh man, but you got trapped. Oh man. Oh god. It was when he got trapped one more time. And when he got trapped one more time, he smiled. He smiled because he wasn't giving up. He smiled because he knew that he gave it his all. And at the end of the day, he didn't have to give no more. Oh my god, man. That hits so hard, man. Now, I was initially shocked. I was shocked. But after some time, like a couple seconds later, I knew it was the right decision. I knew it was a perfect ending. I knew it was fair that Cena did what any traditionalist would do on their way out. On their way out, you put over the new star, you stare into the lights, and you'd be just fine. Cena did what he and anyone else would do. Now, a lot of people on social media have been going insane. They said they hated this and said Cena should have won. Now, let me ask you the question. What good would Cena winning do? It'll be a nice feel-good moment, but it wouldn't do anything for Gunther. And people are going to say, oh, Gunther doesn't deserve the win. It should have gone to somebody else. Y'all have been screaming for Gunther to be pushed better since after WrestleMania. From even after, not even after WrestleMania, before WrestleMania, when he got into the feud with Jey Uso. From like Saturday night's main event, y'all been begging for Gunther to be pushed hard. For what reason now does he not deserve this win? From the Jey Uso Saturday night's main event feud, to the Jey Uso title loss, to Pat McAfee. Y'all have been begging, crying, bitching, and moaning for Gunther to be pushed better. Now he goes ahead. He retires Goldberg. He's had 2 world title reigns from 2024 to 2025 to WrestleMania. And then he won the World Heavyweight title again. He's had nearly a year run with, like a half a year run with the World Championship. Had a phenomenal match with CM Punk. Goes ahead and wins the John Cena tournament. And now people are crying, bitching, and moaning, saying that this doesn't need to happen. Y'all are so fickle. Y'all are so damn flip-flopping bitches. I can't stand the WWE, or let alone, not the WWE, I can't stand the IWC. I was going to say WWE Universe, but I can't stand the IWC. This is why I don't partake in any of the nonsense. This is why when I say that I like something that people hate, I don't care. Because I particularly like it. I enjoy it. I don't care what the opinion is at the end of the day. If you hate it, fine, cool. But I'm not going to try to drag everybody under the mud and be like, oh, this was terrible. That's not it. That's not what we're supposed to do. That's not what we're supposed to do as fans. Enjoy what we have in the moment in time. That's what it is. And at the end of the day, I enjoyed that Gunther was the one that beat John Cena, made John Cena tap out, but one thing he didn't make him do was give up. Although he tapped out, he didn't give up. John Cena didn't give up at the end of the day because he knew it was right for him to just walk into the sunset and do what it was right for the business. Put over the most dominant threat in professional wrestling today, and that is Gunther. Gunther is the most dominant threat in professional wrestling, and it's a fact. Without question. People are going to say, well, Undertaker won in his last match. Well, Sting won in his final match. I'm going to give y'all some background here. In terms of Undertaker and Sting scenarios, those were different. You're going to tell me that AJ Styles is going to win in a buried alive match in a way against The Undertaker in a cinematic world, and you're going to tell me also that AJ Styles, even with the Good Brothers, was going to beat The Undertaker in that kind of scenario in 2020. And I'm going to add another thing to the Sting thing. Sting's scenario was 10 times different. The story with his retirement was that the Young Bucks were a bunch of pricks. So, of course, even though putting over the Young Bucks would have been fine, still at the end of the day, bad guys still need to lose in some capacity. Plus, the Young Bucks pushed for Sting to lose. Because that's what traditionalists do. They pushed, well, Sting actually, I'm getting so caught up in my feelings because it's so angry. I'm so angry. Sting pushed for the Young Bucks to win. Sting pushed for himself to lose because that's what traditionalists do. Sting wanted to lose his last match, but they said no. The Young Bucks said no, and they gave him the tag team title win. Because they knew what was right at the end of the day. The story was that they needed to lose that match. But at the same time, they wanted a feel-good moment. And there's nothing wrong with a feel-good moment in a retirement. But sometimes you just have to take the losses in what it needs to be. And you have to take the retirement as what it's supposed to be. The young guy getting put over, or the guy who wants to be put over or should be put over is going to get put over. Ric Flair put over Shawn Michaels. You can look back at any other retirement match and say, dude, this is what this needed to be, and it was perfect. Hell, you look at, in a sense, Eddie Guerrero's last match, minus the Mr. Kennedy one, I believe his last pay-per-view match, he put over Batista, who was the biggest up-and-coming world champion in the WWE by far. And he knew that he needed to lose that match because they were going to give the world title to him. Unfortunately, Eddie did pass away. And I'm not going to say, that's Eddie's retirement match. It's not. I'm just using that as in the context of something. Because Eddie knows that the future was with Batista and he had to put him over. There's no way that he was going to go ahead and just walk into No Mercy and win the championship. I believe if Eddie had it his way, he would have probably not won the World Heavyweight Championship. In just my humblest thing, The Rock got put over by Stone Cold Steve Austin in Steve Austin's last match in WWE. We're not going to count WrestleMania. even though WrestleMania 38 was awesome, but WrestleMania 19, The Rock got put over by Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what it was. Shawn Michaels put over The Undertaker because that was necessary for the streak and also at the same time in what's of his character. Plain and simple. We have had so many retirements where the guy who is retiring is looking into the lights. There is nothing wrong with that at the end of the day. So, everybody that was saying that John Cena should have needed to win, it doesn't make no sense. It wouldn't have made no sense. It would have just been a feel-good moment to be a feel-good moment, and we don't need that sometimes in wrestling. The heels need to heel, and the heels need to win. Plain and simple. And I hate it. Now looking back in the time, hate it that the WWE fans, the people inside Capital One Arena, were booing the absolute piss out of Triple H because he booked a terrible show. All that stuff, this was a bad show. John Cena should have won. Should have lost. He should have lost to John Cena. Grow a set and shut the fuck up. Honestly, shut up. It's annoying that Triple H gets so much bad rep. Sometimes the bad rep is deserved, I'm not gonna lie. But Triple H's booking, if I'm gonna be real with y'all, it's millions of miles better than what Vince's booking was from, 2015, 2016? From like the PG era start all the way until his last days in WWE in 2022. Good Lord, is his booking miles better. You have a ton of future stars in the WWE right now to this day. Gunther now is the most unstoppable guy in wrestling. That is Triple H's God. No matter if he has the world title or not. And you can't say otherwise that he's not the guy no matter what. He is the guy. Period. He's the career ender. He's the new legend killer. I wouldn't be surprised if Gunther is the one to retire AJ Styles, Randy Orton, hell, maybe a Rey Mysterio. He retires the next 3 guys. It would be something, and whoever goes on and beats him next, gonna get a lot of cred. And you can talk about the Jey Usos beating him. You guys all about CM Punk beating him. Who cares? Those 2 guys are established in a way. Jey Uso is established. CM Punk established by a million miles. So yeah, Gunther winning, 100% the right call. John Cena losing, 100% the right call. The way that Cena lost, cinematic perfection. A lot of people don't like that he tapped out. I actually think that it was poetic and it was peaceful for me. It was satisfying for me, and it was satisfying for a lot of others. There are a lot of people who actually like the ending. I looked on Twitter, I looked on social media. There are people that said that they actually do not mind the ending whatsoever, from Sean Ross Sapp and also Wheezy and another person I follow on Twitter as well. There are people who appreciated this ending and appreciated the fact that this happened. I appreciate the fact that this happened so much. Also, shout out to Minerva, everybody. To all the people who are miles ahead better than me in content creating and all that, all everything in wrestling. Shout out to those people. I'm just somebody who loves wrestling, has emotion for wrestling, and will get piped up because of things with wrestling. This is what got me piped up the most, though, was this nonsense of a reaction. Reacting just to react. That's what it was. I hate people who react just to react, and it blows my mind. It literally blows my mind. Like, I just can't. I can't with people. People get on my nerves in the wrestling community, and I just can't. This is why I don't interact with those that are so brain dead when it comes to what decisions are. But now it really just pushes the further narrative more that the fans don't matter in WWE eyes. Like, period. All this time that you wanted Gunther to be pushed better, Gunther got pushed better. Now he's beating Goldberg and John Cena. Now people are complaining about that. All the times that people wanted Jey Uso to win a championship, a singles title, a world title. He won a world title. And people are now saying, Jey Uso didn't need to win the world title. Jey Uso didn't need this. Jey Uso don't need that. Jey Uso doesn't need to be a single star no more. Y'all been pushing for Jey to be better, to be the best damn singles wrestler in the world. This is why, like, it is so mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. I'm going to make... You know what? Here's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to make a video, and it's going to just encapsulate my personal feelings. It's just going to be a straight face-to-face video of just like, hey, this is, like, stupid rage bait nonsense from the WWE universe, and you're gonna have examples of certain things that are gonna just pop up on here, and I'm gonna choose just break them down in certain circumstances, because I am going to be ranting for quite a while after this if I keep going. But afterwards, Cena got a tribute video. Everybody gathered around. Punk and Cody gave Cena the World Heavyweight and WWE titles, the titles that pretty much encapsulate John Cena's career. No matter if that's the second version of the World Heavyweight Championship, it is still the World Heavyweight Championship. And no matter if it's the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, it is still the WWE Championship linked in with the Universal title lineage, which is connected together because of their ties from 2022 from WrestleMania. Cena left his shoes in the ring, left his wrist and armband in the ring, and one last salute, and my heart felt whole at the end of the day. Don't cry because... Don't be sad because it's over. Be happy that you got to witness it all and live it through your own very eyes. So... I'm happy. In the end of the day, it is 4:16 as of the ending of this video, and I would like to say one more time, thank you to my childhood hero, and to my icon and my inspiration, and the guy that carried me into my adulthood, John Cena. You're the GOAT, man. You're the absolute GOAT. Thank you for everything. Please let me know what you thought of Saturday night's main event in the comments, good or bad. It doesn't matter. I am willing to have any conversation there is, and I will be willing to have the open heart about it, about any opinion. Other than that, please enjoy your Monday. Monday Night Raw is tonight, but I think there is a Monday Night Football game, so I won't be able to go live, of course, again. But I do have plans on going live once Monday Night Football and the football season does end. Okay, so it is Dolphins Steelers, so I'm going to be tuned into that because it is a little bit of implications to it. And then next Monday is the 49ers Colts. Phillip Rivers. Shout out to anti-condom, no pull-out poppy Phillip Rivers. He's back in football. Ain't that crazy? Oh, boy. And then, the last Sunday of the week is no football, so thank goodness. I'll be going to live streams again once the season ends. But other than that, take care of yourselves and make sure to give love, to get love, to be loved. That is my message to y'all. Peace. Hearts to the people. And I'll catch you all in the next video.